Hey, what's going on? Welcome to video 33 of the YouTube clone tutorial. Make sure you always check out the branch on GitHub in the repo. The link's in the comments. Um, yeah, always check out that repo because I can't get to all the code in a 10-minute block, and I don't want to bore you to death with all the styling and all the little things. So I'll try to hit all the major points. So this video, we're working on the poster for the video, which is um, what you see before playing the video. You can put a JPEG or a PNG image in there. Best to have it. The YouTube explains it. Best to have it like 1280 by 720 or that ratio, I guess. So we want it to behave like this. So we're going to upload a video. And when we upload a video, this was a short one. We do our normal. And up here, you can click to add a poster. You want to do that before you publish the video. So we want, again, this always goes slow because my computer only has 2 gigs of RAM. And just making a screencast is hard enough. But we want this to pop up, and it's going to let us upload a PNG or a JPEG if it ever shows up. Oh, here we go. So it'll let us upload a PNG file. Do that. Then upload the poster. And you'll get a preview in this little box right here. And then you can publish your video. And now you can click on watch video. And when you get to watch a video, it's going to show this until you hit play. And then it plays. So that's the functionality we want. And how do we get that? We start by adding a new type called S3 poster, very similar to S3 payload, except poster URL, set video URL. And we'll do another set S3 sign poster, same parameters, but returns S3 poster. As far as the mutation goes, and the resolver is identical. Save this right here. This returns the video URL. This calls a poster URL. So all the file name is taken care of on the front end, and all that's different is poster URL and poster URL here. So 2 different resolvers because we want to call this mutation. Each one of these gets called once within the same component on the front end, so we can't use the same one. We want to keep them separate. So when we access the data from them, we access the props differently. Now, in our upload component, we obviously write it out here and add it to our list here between S3 sign poster. And we also refactored in this video. So we broke down, we had something coming if dropzone was true and something if dropzone was false. And basically, I created a components folder, which we already did for the modals, and I added 2 new files, upload details and the dropzone. So the dropzone is that initial screen. You click, and the details is where you fill in the title, description, and pick your poster. So that's pretty easy to do. You just create the files, import the files. Up here in these, basically you just export, and we object the structure to get the props. And all you really had to change to start within the code is where it said this.handle upload, change it to handle upload. And then you just pass down pass down your props like this. And of course, we added a bunch of new ones and changed some names. On drop, we called it on drop video because we also have an on drop poster. Handle upload, we added video because we have handle upload poster. Handle video remains the same. Handle change remains the same. We add some state. We add the poster file to our state. We also add a second parameter to format called folder. And where it said videos before, we put the folder in here. The upload to S3 function remains the same. And where we call here in our handle uploads, where we call format, we put videos and we put images as the parameters. And of course, in the handle upload poster, we're dealing with a poster file, almost identical except the poster file and the signed poster. And our set state, we're just setting the poster. Check the, you're going to want to check the GitHub files to see which styles come over. Container goes in both, and you want to get your imports right. Let's see, we added a couple styles. We added the drop zone because we created another drop zone and a poster button in this details. So we brought in the drop zone again. This one accepts the images, and we set up a new on drop. We're still calling it on drop here, but this is what I mean with the props. When we send them in, this one's on drop is on drop poster. This one's on drop is this on video drop. See how we are able to still name the prop the same thing, but send it something different for each one of these components here. So it works pretty cool. We have a little conditional logic here. First, it's going to say add, click to add, and if there is a file, it's going to not display that. It's going to display the button that you click to upload it. And once we have that poster URL, it's going to display an image within the drop zone. And we set overflow to hidden and set up all the flex container stuff. And the size, we want the size just right. And then we do this with our thumbnail. Flex rank 0, max width 100, max height 100. That'll get it to fit perfectly in our drop zone box, like you saw in my example. So check out all the different styles and what goes where. All the different props that get passed in. But generally, we just made a couple little changes. We added a drop zone and a button here. And we just copied our code over and got rid of brought the styles where they needed to be, and got rid of the this in front of the handle video, or the handle anything, the methods. And finally, I don't know if we went over this before, but how I set the current time, if there's a time parameter, I use the ref. You don't see these a whole heck of a lot, but with React, if you want a reference to the actual DOM element, this is just a representation of the DOM element and the virtual DOM that React creates. But if you want to get to the actual DOM element to use some of the native JavaScript stuff, you do this ref function of video, and it returns. We now are saying this.video element equals video. And I got a little bit hanky with it. Not the cleanest code in the world that I'm about to show you. This is how we set the time. We used our query string package that we brought in to parse this.props location.search and then .time. Breaks it into objects, and of course we're saying $time equals, and it acts like a key value pair. And then we set the state current time. That's for altering it for the copy for the share button. And then we say this.video element.current time is time. That's how we get it to jump to that current time. But since it doesn't assign the ref right away, because we have some issues with our video thing, because we're actually loading up from a GraphQL query to get the source of the video, I had to put a timeout on it of 2.5 seconds. No big deal. Just know that you won't get the poster, which we set simply in our video element down here, by saying poster is poster.